do we mean by no toxic additives? Additives are very common in commercial winemaking. Wine companies are allowed to use thickeners, dyes, flavoring, sterilizers, defoaming agents, and a whole lot more to create a certain type of product. In fact, the FDA approves 76 additives for use in winemaking in the United States. We here at Dry Farm Wines only work with natural growers who share a philosophy of pure wine made without these industrial additives. We vet every grower before working with them to make sure their ethos aligns with ours, to make wine as pure as possible as nature intends.
Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Welcome to the new year. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and I love that today of all days, on the first official Saturday of 2023, I get to share with you why it's so difficult for us to lose weight and why so many of us feel tired and fatigued and just kind of sick. It has to do with some hormones that most of the time your doctors have never talked to you about. I'm going to spend a ton of time today discussing leptin, reverse T3, and all the information in a new ebook I've written called Turn On Your Fat Burning Switch. Yeah, right? See that switch right there? Burn fat at the top when it's on, not burning fat, storing it at the bottom when it's off. There is a switch inside your body, guys, that when you activate it, you burn fat as a side effect of your healing. So you can tell I'm excited. Look, as we've been doing this show now, hitting the 11th year, we just get such an awesome opportunity to share information, to show you how to heal. And the graciousness, the gratitude we've received from you, our listeners, has been extravagant. All of 2022 is nothing but glory and honor and praise. And it's not for me, it's for you. Because when you take the tools we teach and you implement them, the results are guaranteed. Now, if you have difficulty losing weight, you must learn about these hormones, leptin and reverse T3, because almost always during this time of year, people are at the gym like crazy. They're picking their new diets and they're going, well, I'm getting some good results, but I'm frustrated when it's only 10 pounds or I started gaining weight and what's going on. So you must understand that weight loss is a hormone issue, not lack of time in the gym and not the wrong diet. Look, I hate to say this. You could never work out a day in your life and you could eat the worst food ever. But if your leptin and your reverse T3 are balanced, you're going to be thin and fit and full of energy. Now, you could be working out like crazy. You could be becoming a vegan. And if leptin and reverse T3 are imbalanced, good luck. All right, so you've got to learn about these things, all right? Leptin is a hormone that is the major regulator of body fat, and it is the number one hormone that we talk about inside this new ebook. There it is, you can see right there, leptin in conjunction with human growth hormone, testosterone, reverse T3. These are your fat-burning hormones. So we've got to talk about this idea that so many people are going after exercise. So many people are trying to do diet and they're not doing it right. So I have for you a special gift. This ebook, the Dirty Dozen Clean 15 list, the pH list, so you can find out if your foods are acid or alkaline, and a shopping guide of which restaurants in the local Charlotte area can you eat at. And there are quite a few that you can choose from that will keep you in line with the way you should eat to turn on that fat burning switch. So if you want this ebook, guys, it's free. It's the Turn On Your Fat Burning Switch ebook. All you have to do is text the word New Year to 704-906-2094. Again, New Year, your name and your email, this ebook. And by the way, it's loaded with recipes that are conducive to turning the fat switch on. It has meal plans and guides for the entire month, everything you need, shopping lists. I mean, guys, we're letting it all out. It's yours for free. Text the word New Year and your name and email to 704-906-2094, and you get it free now. Also, you get free access to my masterclass that I'm hosting on the 14th. That's next Saturday. We already have over 250 people registered. This is an event where I'm going to teach you. It's not a webinar. This is a full live one-on-one class where I'm going to teach you step by step how to address your hormones, how to address the imbalances in your body, how to find the interferences that are preventing you from healing yourself. And when you finish this class, you'll be a first-degree self-healer. You will know everything you need to do. Second degree is go do it. Third degree is heal yourself. Fourth degree is now teach someone else. Fifth degree is host your own masterclass. And sixth degree is you come work for me. I mean, I think you get the idea. So we know that weight loss is not diet and exercise. It's more about balancing your hormones than anything else. And let me tell you, if leptin is out of balance, you can't lose weight. If reverse T3 is out of balance, you can't lose weight. And today, people are becoming resistant to their hormones. It's the equivalent of insulin resistance, where you've got insulin, but the sugar doesn't come down and you're labeled as a diabetic. So imagine this. You have leptin. It's supposed to burn fat, but it's resistant, and so you gain weight. And you might be going, what the heck is leptin? Well, it's a hormone that you have to learn about. Leptin is a hormone that regulates your body's metabolism. It is secreted by fat cells, and the normal levels of leptin will increase the accumulation of fat. So for example, when you have a lot of fat, your body secretes leptin to say, hey, we need to burn fat. And if leptin is increasing in its concentration because you have a lot of fat that you're not burning, the receptors in your brain become resistant. So what happens is leptin levels go up. Fat should be going down, but because there's resistance to leptin in the brain, you don't burn fat. And so therefore, leptin goes high, 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 just like insulin goes high, high, high. Sugars go up, 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 just like fat goes up, up, up. So balancing your leptin is actually something very easy to do. I'll share with you how to do it today, but you have to learn, number one, leptin resistance causes weight loss resistance, period. And many of you have never had your leptin levels tested. It's simple. It's a blood test. Now, leptin resistance is also connected to hypothyroid issues, diabetes, obesity, and major heart issues like heart disease and cancer. Leptin resistance is an inability for leptin to activate the receptor in your brain that tells your brain to burn fat. Thus, people with this often have chronic difficulties in losing weight. They often also find that they have diminished secretions of thyroid hormones because your thyroid hormone is also supposed to help you burn fat. So as your leptin levels go up, your thyroid levels go down. Because of this, we cannot convert the active thyroid hormones into the proper fat burning hormones, and you get this thing then called reverse T3 that piles up. Now here comes the imbalances between all hormones. Okay, it's not just one hormone. When leptin goes out of balance, so does everything else. But as leptin levels goes up, T3 levels go down and your body starts to panic, and as a result, it will elevate a hormone called reverse T3. Partially because leptin tells your liver, hey, stop making T3. We don't need to burn fat anymore. We need to store fat when leptin levels are super high. So as the resistance kick in, reverse T3 starts to change, thyroid hormones start going out of whack, and here's what you start to notice. You're hungry all the time. Even when you finish a meal, you're still hungry. You've got higher levels of blood sugar because you become resistant to the ability to burn fat. There is an inhibition of the breakdown of fat. Medically, it's called lipolysis. It's the process where a hormone signal comes from your brain and tells your body, burn those fat cells, get the energy out of them and use it so that we can thin ourselves down. The mechanism is partially due to a breakdown in the leptin receptors within the brain. Now, here's what they're saying, guys. This is a self-induced resistance, okay? A lot of times hormone resistance is because of toxicities, heavy metals, pesticides, etc. No, this is a sheer sake of constant leptin stimulation, and bang, 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 bang to the brain makes the brain retract its receptors and go, all right, we're not going to do this anymore. And what causes that is the constant onslaught of processed foods, refined carbohydrates, I'll call them rancid fats, seed oils, canola, Wesson, corn, vegetable, and the fact that you guys just eat too many times throughout the day. Okay, this whole concept of 6 meals a day to keep the doctor away or 6 meals a day to help you burn fat, no, it's all inappropriate. In the world of functional medicine, we would teach you that every single time you put something in your mouth, you're going to have an insulin spike as a result. It's just natural. It doesn't matter if it's broccoli, carrots, soda, crackers, cookies, you name it. Whoosh, insulin spikes because of food going in. With every spike of insulin, your body's going to also secrete some leptin to try to balance it and say, hey, we need to burn fat if you're going to store fat so we stay neutral. But if you constantly do this 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day, the spike of insulin, the spike of leptin is going to create a problem, and it turns off your fat burning switch. So your body says, okay, I'm in storage mode. And the problem with storage mode is none of you want to be there. You all go, yeah, I've got a lot stored and I want it off. But it won't leave if your switch is in store fat mode. And that's when leptin is high and reverse T3 is high. Now you might be saying, well, I've never heard of reverse T3. I've only heard of T3 and T4. I have never met a classically trained medical doctor who's even acknowledged that reverse T3 is something worth testing. They know what it is, but they just don't want to test it. Reverse T3 is an isomer. It's the opposing hormone. So you have T3, which says burn fat. Then you have reverse T3, which says, nope, don't burn fat. It's possible that if you have an imbalance in your hormones, you could do everything right and you can't burn fat. So why does your body have elevated levels of reverse T3 and also of leptin? Well, it's because these hormones are meant to act as a brake, a slowing down, a stoppage, if you will, so that your metabolism during times of extreme stress can rest. Again, remember, it's about homeostatic balance. If I'm healthy, I'm going to burn fat easily. If I'm unhealthy, I'm going to store fat, because if you think of it from a stake of illness, when your body's recovering from some sort of a condition, a sickness, a disease, maybe it's pneumonia, maybe it's an infection, maybe it's COVID, does it make sense for you to increase your metabolism and to provide more energy to your muscles so you can be active and build muscles and burn fat? Actually, it does not. Because during times of an infection or times of illness, it's better to conserve energy, which would provide that to the vital organs and to your immune system so you can heal. Think of it as a protective mechanism built in. But it may surprise you that this name of this protective mechanism is actually known scientifically. They call it euthyroid sick syndrome, which is probably what you have. Euthyroid, EUTHYROID, sick syndrome. It's when people have low levels of T3, high levels of reverse T3, normal levels of TSH and T4, so their doctor's confused because they say their thyroid's working perfectly on their labs, and high levels of leptin. So you see, despite the fact that your doctors learned everything about thyroid, they know almost nothing about euthyroid sick syndrome. And it's actually believed that this phenomenon has even hospitalized patients for being sick when it's a hormone imbalance, and they're given a medication rather than solving the underlying effect. There are studies that are now starting to shed light on the fact that, listen to this, caloric restriction, increased exercise, and even fasting makes it worse, because it elevates stress hormones, which push reverse T3 up and push leptin up. Now, I know you guys right now, like we're 13 minutes into our show, and you're probably going like, my mind's exploding, Dr. Ernst. Like, I'm having a hard time understanding the words. Download the ebook. It's going to explain it all to you. The Fat Burning Switch. Turn it on ebook. How do you do that? Well, text your name and the word New Year with your email, guys, to 704-906-2094. I have everything in here I'm talking to you about, plus all the things you need to do on how to fix this naturally. It is involving a little bit of some diet changing, but it's not going on a diet. It involves reducing the stress in your life, which we're going to teach you how to do that. But mostly it's about getting you out of the acid-alkaline stress response of the foods and the drinks you're eating and getting into the basic environment. It's about keeping your diet simply clean, using the Dirty Dozen lists. And hey, if you want to go out to eat, great. Here's our restaurant list. I'm going to give you all of this for free. But you have to text the word New Year to 704-906-2094. Again, that's 704-906-2094. If you're watching our live stream, there it is. See the banner down here that will tell you what to do. Guys, it's real simple. Okay, so text your name, the word New Year, and your email to 704-906-2094, and you get the masterclass. You get the guides. And again, the masterclass is on the 14th of January. I will invite you next Saturday to listen, learn, and educate yourself. I'm going to teach you as if I'm a professor, and I'm going to say, this is what you need to do to lose weight. This is what you need to do to reduce your stress. This is what you need to do to heal from a condition. Here's how you get off medications. Here's how you heal yourself. Now go do your homework, which is implement what you've learned and then see the results kick in. We're talking some people 20, 30 pounds in 30 days, 40, 50, 60 pounds in 90 days. Like, it's possible, guys. The question you should ask is, are you pulling reverse T3? Are you letting reverse T3 pile up? And is it causing the resistance you have within your weight gain? And the answer to that is yes, okay? If you are having problems burning fat, it's because you're not building muscle. So as a result, you become, I'll call it, high fat percent, okay? If you were to take your muscle and weigh it, the percentage of it that's fat would be higher than what it needs to be. And it's not your fault. It's not your genetics. It's not your lack of motivation. It's simply your hormones playing havoc on you. So now that you know that you want to lower your reverse T3 levels, in order to do that, you need to understand what's causing them to be elevated in the first place. As you might suspect, high reverse T3 in your body means low metabolism, therefore weight gain, therefore difficulty with burning fat. We would call this a lower than normal metabolism. All right. And then what happens is we get this constant pile up of weight. And it's not like 5, 7, 10 pounds at a time. It's a pound a week or a pound every month. And by the end of the year, I'm 10 pounds heavier. And by the end of next year, I'm another 10 pounds heavier. It's this crushing sense of fatigue. The tiredness that no matter how hard you do your work and no matter how much you sleep and no matter how much natural aids you take for energy, you can't seem to shake it. It's the early onset of a hypothyroid condition, chronic pain, depression, anxiety. These are the things that are symptomatic when your hormones are out of balance. So what causes this elevation in leptin and reverse T3? Well, the most common is going to come as a shock. It's caloric restricting dieting, which is funny because in the beginning of the new year, what does everybody do? Well, I'm going to change my diet and I'm going to eat right and I'm going to exercise like crazy. I'm going to take the 500 calorie fasting plans, and I'm going to use the human growth hormones or the very low caloric diets, if you know what I'm talking about, the VLCDs. These diets have been shown to actually slow your metabolism down, increase reverse T3, increase insulin, and make weight loss almost impossible. So be careful, those of you who are like, well, I signed up for this, whatever plan where it's 500 calories a day and they give me HCG and I'm going to lose a ton of weight. It's going to come right back because it elevates your hormones. We know that chronic illness and infections can elevate your reverse T3. Why? Because reverse T3 is naturally secreted in times of stress and infection. Here's the issue though. Many of you are walking around every single day with a chronic infection like mononucleosis, Epstein-Barr virus, or a SIBO, a bacterial infectional overgrowth that causes dysbiosis and leaky gut. Some of you even have major issues like cardiac disease, arthritis, diabetes, obesity, or even cancer. And the day-to-day stress of those illnesses elevates your leptin, elevates reverse T3, and makes it difficult. We also know that chronic inflammation spikes these hormones. So any cause of inflammation, which is eating foods that are full of toxins or staying in the low pH zone. So if you're doing, all this stuff that's in the pH range of 2 or 3, pork and pastries and sodas and chocolates, which are not naturally raw, etc., like your Hershey's and things like that. Cheese and wine and stress and aspartame and microwave foods, all of this stuff at the low pH range causes inflammation, which causes stress, and that decreases the ability for your thyroid to work properly, thus you get high levels of reverse T3. Inflammation has also been connected to other diseases like autoimmunity, insulin resistance, dysbiosis, leptin resistance. There it is again. See the word leptin? And we know that anytime you have an imbalance in your gut, you're going to have an imbalance in your hormones. I want you to think of your hormone balance as equal to that of your gut balance. When your gut's balanced, your hormones are balanced. When your gut is imbalanced, your hormones are imbalanced. Up to 20% of all thyroid conversion takes place in the intestines. So 20% elevation in reverse T3 could be because of an intestinal dysbiosis. Gut imbalances include SIBO, a chronic infection of bacteria in the intestines, acid reflux or GERD, yeast overgrowth, candida, history of chronic antibacterial use, or anyone who has an inflammatory bowel disease like IBS, IBD, etc. Not only that, let's pile on the fact that all of this could create emotional and or psychological stress of just the sheer idea that, God, I just don't feel good. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. Maybe I have some sort of diagnostic PTSD or something to this effect. You would be amazed how many people go throughout their life and are constantly being triggered because of some sort of previous emotional and or family and or death and or I'll call it stressed within a relationship, which creates a level of irritation to their system. Okay, if you guys know what I'm talking about, this PTSD, this psychosomatics, post-traumatic stress disorders, you put someone in an environment that you might be totally fine with and they get triggered and then their hormones shoot through the roof. They're stressed out and they're going like, I just can't seem to lose weight, yet they do everything right. We also know that certain medications can affect these hormones. And here's a challenge. The same medications that cause it are the reasons why you take the medication in the first place. So if you're taking you're taking thyroid medications, it's almost always because you have a reverse T3 dominance in the first place. If you're taking blood pressure medications or diabetic medications or antidepressants, it's almost always because your hormones are out of balance. So you fix the hormones and thus you fix the issue and you might be able to become free of your medication. So again, if you're looking for how to step by step, it's in the ebook that we're giving away. Turn on your fat burning switch. The Ask Dr. Ernst Ultimate Guide to Health from Within, Weight Loss as a Side Effect. It has everything we're discussing. Plus, get this, I have carved out 4 weeks of meal planning and even shopping guides. So you get your grocery list for week 1, you get your meal plan for week 1. You get your grocery list for week 2, you get your meal plan for week 2. It's a 1-month guide that when you follow it, pretty much guaranteed you're going to lose weight as a side effect, because you will start balancing reverse T3. You'll balance your leptin, you'll activate your human growth hormone, you won't have to take it, and you'll get exceptional results. In addition, on the 14th, which is next Saturday, guys, I'm hosting a masterclass that I'm inviting you to. I will teach you the things you need to know in order to heal yourself. How do you physically get reverse T3 to shift in 4 weeks? Okay, it's in the ebook and it's on the masterclass. How do you get leptin to come down and become less resistant? It's in the ebook and it's on the masterclass. What's in the masterclass that is not in the ebook is the one-on-one conversation. It's live. You can interact with us. Type in exactly what you need. We'll read it. We'll give it to you because, again, we're here to teach and educate. I want you to think of this masterclass as your first opportunity to begin a self-healing degree. You need to learn how to become your own doctor. You can't wait for medicine to come around and solve this because they never will. And even if they did, it wouldn't be a method you want. It'd be taking a medication or getting liposuction or doing some sort of cool sculpting and freezing, all of which is terrible because it rips open the cells of fat and it releases all the toxins that they're holding on to instead of letting your body burn it for you. Hey, we have a commercial break coming up. When we come back, we're going to go into all the steps of, again, what is the functional approach to fixing this? How do you solve this reverse T3 imbalance? How do you fix this leptin issue so you get your energy back, you get your weight off, you get your health back? All of that and more when we come back. And right now, again, take the opportunity, the Turn On Your Fat Burning Switch, the ultimate Ask Dr. Ernst guide to weight loss as a side effect is yours free now. Text the word New Year with your name and your email, and you get it. It's that simple. Inside here again, 4 weeks of meal planning. You know how much that's worth, guys? A 4-week meal plan laid out, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts, plus the shopping list that coincide with each week, all yours for free. 704-906-2094. Text the word New Year and your name with your email, and it's yours. And as we come back from the commercial break, again, we're going deeper into why is it so hard for us to lose weight? Why can't we just follow the standard, diet and workout and get the results? And why is it so hard? And the result is a simple thing. You fix your hormones and your body will heal itself and the weight will come off as an effect. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. We will be right back.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind. How can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, Test and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3. We nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
To bring you the best natural wine the world has to offer, we've designed a fully curated membership program. Every selection you receive is different and unique. Every wine is picked by our wine team, lab tested for purity, and curated into a special box for your enjoyment. So how does the membership work? We offer 2 main options: a half case of 6 bottles or a full case of 12. You can request all reds, all whites, or a perfect split of both. Then you can set the frequency, monthly or every other month. We offer a similar simple membership for rosé and sparkling wines. After you choose these basic options, we'll do the rest. With every box we send you, we aim to present the greatest diversity of flavors, textures, and profiles. There is a healthy mix of the classics, but also rare varietals. We do this because natural wines taste different from their commercial counterparts. We want to share the best possible experience with you so you can discover new wines you love. And you can always reorder a wine that took your heart, or ask us to avoid certain profiles. The best part is, you don't need any wine knowledge to fully enjoy these boxes. We curate our selections to be enjoyed without worry. Ultimately, this is Dry Farm Wines. We are so grateful to be able to share the power of natural wines with you.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, and today we have been discussing an incredible topic in regards to why is it so difficult for us to lose weight, have energy, feel great, and I think it's very fitting, being that this is the first Saturday of the new year, that we get to show you how to turn on your fat-burning switch. All throughout the first segment, I was giving this ebook away, and we've almost hit a max capacity. I mean, I don't think we've had as many people texting in one show ever before. We're over 150 texts in. Why don't we shoot for the moon and try to go over 300? Can you get your body to burn fat fast? Yes. You have to turn on your fat burning switch. And for those of you watching our live stream, I'm holding up an ebook that we wrote that I think is one of the greatest ones, because we included meal planning, restaurant lists, shopping guides, recipes. All of these are designed to help you turn on your fat burning switch, which is our topic of the day, getting your hormones balanced. Look, I know what you're thinking. It's the new year. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to finally do this. Forget last year. I thought I was going to do it, but this is the year, right? This is the year. And I hate to say it, but you're going to get the same results. What you need to realize is your ability to burn fat has more to do with your hormones than the amount of time you spend in the gym. more to do with your hormones than that new fad diet. Do we need to eat a specific way to encourage our metabolism? Yes, but it's not a diet, guys. It's just recommendations. This is all great food and certain times of the day to eat. And we have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts that are conducive for that fat switch to stay on, not in the off store fat mode. So how do you get the ebook? Simple. Text the word New Year along with your name and your email to 704-906-2094. That's 704-906-2094. If you're watching our live stream, at the bottom of the stream is the information. Just send your name, your email, and the word New Year, and boom, the ebook is yours. Guys, it's several hundred pages long because it's full of recipes, it's full of shopping lists, it's full of guides. We have our local restaurant guide for the Charlotte area. We have our Clean 15, Dirty Dozen foods to avoid. We also have the pH reference scale so you can know, hey, is what I'm eating turning my fat burning switch off, low pH, or turning it on, high pH? All of it's free for you. We're also giving away attendance to the masterclass that I am hosting next Saturday, the 14th of January, where I'm going to teach you and educate you to the level of a self-healing doctor, how to solve your health issues. If it's you can't lose weight, join us. If it's you want to get off a medication, join us. If it's you want your brain back, join us. In the class, I'm going to share with you all of the functional medicine secrets that I've learned over 15 years of being a holistic physician, a chiropractor, a doctor of natural medicine, and I will show you what you should look for, what you should pay attention to, and the steps to bring about healing for yourself. We talked at the top of the hour that there's two major hormones we have to pay attention to, leptin and reverse T3 if we want to heal. So I want to give you now 7 ways that you can make leptin work in your favor. And as a quick little reminder, in case you're just now hopping on for this segment, leptin is a hormone produced by fat cells that tells your brain, burn fat now. And what's happening for a lot of you is there's too much leptin floating around in your blood. Your brain has said, okay, no, I don't want to listen to this anymore. The receptors pull back, they close, and your fat switch is in store fat mode. This is why, again, you could go work out like crazy. You could follow this diet that's inside this ebook, and you're not going to get the results. What does it say right here? Weight loss as a side effect. That's what we want. We want you burning fat while you sleep or throughout the day. Imagine a pound, maybe every 2 days. Oh, look at that. It's 15 pounds in 1 month. Okay, so leptin, again, is a hormone secreted by fat cells, and it tells your brain, hey, look, we got too much of us. You need to burn us. You need to get rid of us because we're becoming too big and we don't want to be here anymore. And that's how it should work. So your brain, when it becomes resistant, says, I can't do that. And it's usually because of the other issues going on that we talked about at the top of the hour. There's a chronic illness. There's a dysbiosis. There's some sort of chronic infection. There's a thyroid issue, etc. Okay, so 7 tips right now you can make in your life change so that you can get your leptin to work for you instead of against you. Okay, number 1, follow a leptin diet. I know you guys said, Dr. Ernst, you just said you don't need to go to a diet. Well, you need to start eating foods that will encourage leptin levels to stabilize. The meal plan that I have generated for you guys and the grocery list are in what we call the leptin favorable diet. Okay, it's all laid out for you. All the recipes, everything you need is in the ebook. So that's why right now you should be texting New Year, your name and your email to 704-906-2094. You get the ebook, you get the leptin diet, and it's real simple, guys. Ready? Cut out every single caloric dense, highly processed food and replace them with high fiber, healthy fat, low caloric dense foods. Okay, number 2, leptin responds really well to intermittent fasting, but be careful because longer term fasting can make your leptin levels go up. What I mean by intermittent fasting is to, again, try skipping a meal a day. Skip your breakfast, have lunch, have dinner. Next day, skip your breakfast, have lunch, and then dinner. or skip your lunch and just have breakfast and dinner. The idea is skip a meal and you'll improve your leptin sensitivity within your brain and you'll help your body to burn fat. Number 3, you need to start eating mindfully. All right, so think of it like this. So many of us think of food as sort of like gas for a car. How quick can I fill my car up so I can get on the road and back to wherever I'm going? But you got to be careful if you view your body as a tank that just needs to be filled. Okay, number 1, we're going to tend to eat things that fill us up quickly. And they often are highly processed and they're full of chemicals, and that's why we get full so fast with them. But what you'll notice is when your leptin levels are off, what should have filled you up 20 minutes later doesn't. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're being mindful when we eat. Physically carve out the time for your breakfast or your lunch or your dinner. Sit down rather than standing up. Don't be watching television. Don't be doing anything on your phone. Physically focus on eating as if it's the enjoyment of the meal itself. Have someone eat with you so you can have conversation and draw it out. You know what's funny is a lot of other countries where the average weight is, not obese or they're thinner than we are, they tend to look at their meals as a experience. It's a 30, 40, 1 hour, 2 hour event. Recently, I was in Mexico over the holidays, and I noticed something that a lot of the Americans were like, where's my food? We would order, and it would take 20 minutes, and you could tell if they were Americans. They're bouncing up and down. They're looking all around. They're trying to flag a waiter down, and they're going, where's my food? Because we're so used to things being delivered to us quickly. We eat fast, we leave. Well, see, in Mexico, it's a little different, okay? We call it Mexican time. It takes like 20 or 30 minutes from the time you order. But in that process, here's what's unique. They're almost always bringing you a digestive, not a pill you take, but some sort of fermented, non-alcoholic or slightly alcoholic beverage that gets your digestive juices going. They want you to relax and sort of like take it easy. Then food comes and you eat slowly. Make sure you chew your food thoroughly. I know it sounds like I'm your grandmother, but there's a lot of research behind the idea that if you make sure you chew your food to a full pulp, it doesn't stress your intestines out. Make sure that you spread your meals way out. Again, I talked to you guys about this. It's not 6 meals a day to keep your metabolism strong and healthy. That is old school advice that has been disproven. You need to spread out the time between when you eat. A minimum of 4 hours. So if you have lunch at, say, 12, you shouldn't put anything in your mouth until 4 hours after you finish your lunch. And make sure you remove any tempting junk foods from your house. Look, if you've got the things in your pantry and you go, I'm not going to eat them, good luck. Okay, just get rid of it. Throw it out. Okay, number 4, be careful with your exercise. We have been taught that exercise is what will help you to burn fat. There's a fat burning zone on my treadmill. Well, be careful. Those types of workouts have actually been shown to increase cortisol, which increases stress responses, which increases leptin, which increases reverse T3, and instead you store fat. Exercise done right can increase leptin sensitivity. And so this is when you want to do short bursts, 6, maybe 15 minutes a day. And do a combination of both aerobic and anaerobic workouts, and you'll see a huge improvement in your leptin levels. Okay, number 5, make sure that you rest and manage your stress. I know this is a big deal for a lot of us, but many of us are not sleeping long enough or well enough, and a lot of us are finding times when we're just, running around like crazy, like our heads chopped off like a chicken, etc. And we're not spending time in like quiet, restful meditation. You would be amazed the research behind just a 10-minute meditative, focus guided relaxation. And I'm not talking about like, going off into the astral planes and, anything like that. I'm talking about just physical prayer and meditation for 10 minutes. Silence, talking with God, listening to a recording, some sort of a relaxation meditation can help to change the cortisol response in your body, help you to de-stress, and what you'll find out is that you actually start to get a better response with your weight loss. This is going to sound crazy, but don't forget to have a weekly cheat day. Now, I got to put air quotes around the word cheat. Because the idea is you have to trick your body into thinking that it's being overfed, and that will help to increase the ability for your leptin to work better. So this trick is that one day you actually eat more than you would normally eat, but it's healthy foods, so good carbohydrates, etc. So think of it as like kind of a slightly higher, healthier caloric day. So you do 4 or 5 days where you're skipping breakfast or skipping lunch, you're doing the intermittent fasting. You're not caloric restricting, you're just restricting time of eating food. But then one day a week, you don't do that. You have breakfast, you have a snack, you have lunch, you have a dinner, keeping a 4-hour gap between your foods. And this trick day will help your leptin levels to start to restore themselves to normal, and it increases your sensitivity. This is why so many people who do intermittent fasting every day for 90 days hit a plateau, because you have to tell your body, hey, we're not starving. We're going to actually eat really well one day a week, and it helps your leptin to become more sensitive within your brain. Number 7, and I think this goes no matter what you're trying to do, make sure you track your progress and make sure you're looking at more than just your weight. The biggest frustration a lot of people have is they say, well, I'm doing everything you're talking about and I've only lost X number of pounds. Well, when you hop on a scale that measures more than weight, you find out you've had drastic improvements. You may have lost 5 pounds of fat. You replaced 5 pounds of muscle, so you didn't lose any weight, but you actually technically lost 5 pounds. You're thinner and leaner. Or you gained some water because you were previously dehydrated. So knowing your body base metrics is important, and tracking them is even more important. Make sure you set up some sort of tracker for everything you're doing. Did you follow your diet for the week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Did you do your 5 to 10 minutes of burst workouts? Did you have your cheat meal day? Okay, tracking this is really important, because often what happens is when you don't plan for something, it's never going to happen. And the neat thing about tracking is it lets you see the progress and the improvements either day by day or week by week. And here's the joy, guys. You can track daily. We use, and what we recommend is something called a Renpho scale. It's an RENPHO if you go to Amazon. Renpho scale. It's $25. It's from Amazon. They ship it straight to your house. You hop on it. Your phone will give you all the metrics, and it graphs all the data. It graphs how much you weigh, how much water you have, how much muscle mass. It graphs everything. And the joy of it is week to week to week, you can see your improvements. So make sure you do your meal planning, which we've done for you. Make sure you do your shopping, which we've done for you. Everything you need is in the ebook called Turn On Your Fat Burning Switch. Hey, now's a good time for us to say, go ahead and text in. Grab it, okay? So text the word New Year to 704-906-2094. Do it now. New Year. Send 704-906-2094. Don't forget to include your name and your email. It's a massive electronic book. We have to email it to you, and you'll get it for free. Also, my masterclass is next Saturday. This is when I'm going to lay everything out. You're going to literally sit through a class where I'm going to teach you, here are the tests you should look into. Here are things you can do by yourself at home. Here are some free tips and techniques on fixing things. Here's what you need to pay attention to. And then, guys, I'm going to give you homework. All right? You're going to have an entire list of everything that needs to be done so you can start turning on your fat burning switch, start healing yourself, and possibly get off a medication or 2 or 3, and thus you become the doctor. Remember, the Ask Dr. Ernst show exists so that you can ask the hard questions. We can deliver them to you with easy answers, and you get the benefit and the glory of the healing, because that is the intent of you becoming a self-healing doctor. Okay, I want to talk about now some things that you can do to reverse and reduce your reverse T3 levels. So before we talked about leptin, now we got to talk about your thyroid. Okay, number 1. You got to watch out for those thyroid medications you take. The problem with taking a thyroid medication is, A, it'll make your numbers look really good on your labs. But the pill you swallow could be converted into reverse T3. So if you're stressed out, if you have a chronic infection, if there's SIBO, that thyroid pill you're taking, while it's making your labs look good, could be why you're struggling to lose weight, because, I hate to say it, thyroid medication can also be turned into reverse T3. What about those glandulars? Okay, certainly those are healthy, right? Well, be careful because a glandular has the same thing. It has a small amount of both T3 and T4. And you have to consider that, again, if you're in a stressful state, if you have a chronic infection, or if there's anything going on with your gut, you're going to take that hormone and convert it into reverse T3. Watch out for the fact that you could be nutrient deficient. There are simple ways to help your body convert the hormones properly. The most common nutrient deficiency we see with people with elevated reverse T3 is selenium. You need selenium to activate an enzyme that tells the body to convert T4 to T3. So if your selenium levels are low, you tend to take the T4 and you convert it into reverse T3. So we got to make sure that you have the correct amount of nutrients and minerals within your body. We also want to go through a classic anti-inflammatory program. This is why I'm going to have to bend down to get it because I dropped it. Using the pH guide is so important. Foods that are low in pH tend to spike inflammation. Foods that are high in pH tend to decrease inflammation. Let me read for you those at level 10. This is pH high. This would be what you want to focus on. Raw spinach, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, alfalfa, seaweed, broccoli, cabbage, cucumber, asparagus, carrots, artichokes, celery, collard greens, lemons, and limes. Notice how most of them are generally either white or green. Let's go to pH level 9.0. Again, very alkaline, great to focus on. Olive oil, raw zucchini, sprouted not grains, but sprouts like Brussels sprouts and shoots and mung beans and, I'll call them microgreens. Grapes, lettuce, eggplant, blueberries, papaya, melons, borage oil, peas, alfalfa sprouts, kiwis. You notice really high on the pH scale. Then we get into the 8s, which is still in the alkaline state, but slightly getting closer to neutral. Tomatoes, turnips, bell pepper, pineapples. You know what's interesting? If you look through this, it's almost a vegetarian style diet. Because guess what? Let's go to the low pH, right? Meats and shellfish and cheese and pasta and tobacco and pork and pastries and sodas and chocolate and processed foods, wine and cheese and stress and vinegars and microwave foods, coffee and wheat and peanuts and beef and chicken and fish. Notice, now am I saying that you need to become a vegan to heal? No, but it might be that in a period of time we need to stay away from the low pH foods and shift our diet into the high pH foods to simply give your body a break and to allow it to rest. Okay, so if you don't know this, there are certain nutrients that you can use that can excessively bring anti-inflammation within the body. First and foremost, if you need a cleanup of your liver to help you to reduce inflammation and to fix the conversion of reverse T3, milk thistle and MSM. Both of these nutrients are designed to increase both phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification, which can help to reduce liver enzymatic elevations. So if you have a fatty liver, if you have your doctor screaming at you that your liver enzymes are high, milk thistle and MSM. Omega-3 fatty acids. Of course, these are classic anti-inflammatories. Be careful because a lot of the ones you take over the counter can be contaminated with either mercury or some sort of, what I'll call, I just lost the word for it. It's when the oil, esterification, there it is. When the oils are esterified, they become rancid. So you have to be careful about the kind of fish oils that you take. Of course, the healthy fish oils would come from the fish you consume. Curcumin. It's been shown that it activates something called PPAR gamma, which is a activation against anti-inflammation within the body. Quercetin and bromelain, both enzymes that help to decrease reactivity against sensitivities towards foods. Quercetin is an exceptional natural, I'll call it anti-allergenic, which is going to prevent inflammation. Bromelain is a really good digestive enzyme which helps to decrease stress and inflammation within the body. The big key, of course, is that we need to make sure we're focusing on the stress we have in our life. Are we getting enough amount of sleep? Could we switch our exercise from treadmills and heavy workouts using weights and gym presses, etc., into more of a 6 to 15 minute burst or interval style workout? Can we switch our diets away from the acidic foods more towards the alkaline foods? Can we follow a plan that will elevate your sensitivity to leptin, reduce your reverse T3? That's what's found in our Fat Burning Switch ebook. And if you reduce the stress physically onto your body, you now have a recipe for self-healing. It's one of the most fantastic things you can ever do. And remember, your body is a massive network of interconnected systems, and hormones talk to each other. So when one system isn't working well, it's almost always going to affect the other. This is why it's so important that you see a clear indication that hormones are the key to fixing your energy, your weight, the ability for you to have a clear mind. And instead of going off to our physicians and asking for more hormones, taking more of them, we want to balance them out. And in fact, here's a little secret. It's usually not the hormone that's the problem. It's the resistance to it. Leptin in and of itself is a fantastic hormone. You want it. So it burns fat. Reverse T3, it's a good hormone when you need to slow your metabolism down, rest, digest, and heal. But when they're out of balance and you're going through your day-to-day and they're causing the inability for you to heal and they're making you store fat, that's the problem. It's the resistance to the hormones that's the issue. And again, some of the things that can cause resistance is the inability for you to be clean from toxins and heavy metals, having dysbiosis in your body, having subluxations in the spine that interfere with how the brain communicates to your organs. So if you're looking for a way out, I highly recommend that you text the word New Year, your name and your email now to 704-906-2094. As we have about 3 minutes left to the Ask Dr. Ernst show today, this ebook is yours for free. Inside of here are the meal plans, the shopping lists, the guides, and everything you need to follow that leptin diet I talked to you about, which will increase the sensitivity, make the hormone tell your brain to burn fat. And the joy of that is you don't need to go to the gym. You don't need to do a crazy diet. You just need to eat well and follow the guides, and you'll wake up a month later 7, 10, 15 pounds down. Listen to the recording of today's show again if you need the guides, but everything's there for you. Let's start switching to the high pH diet instead of the low pH diet. You'll get this in your ebook when you text the word New Year and your name and your email right now. Also, on the 14th, which is next Saturday, the masterclass I'm hosting is a free live one-on-one class where I will teach you the tips, the tricks, and the techniques that are used in functional medicine so you don't just lose weight. That's a side effect. You get healthy. You get your blood pressure down, you get your cholesterol down, you get your weight down, you get your energy up. And it's all about finding the interferences in why your body's not doing that by itself right now. The world of functional medicine says one thing. You're naturally supposed to heal yourself. It should be working all the time. It's just something's in the way. If it's a toxin, let's teach you how to identify and get rid of it. If it's a heavy metal, again, teach you how to identify and get rid of it. If it's an interference in your diet, what is the correct way of eating food so we don't diet? Maybe it's an interference in your healing systems. There could be a dysbiosis in your gut. I'll show you how to test for that. I'll show you how to fix that. Maybe it's a neurological interference, a pinched nerve, a subluxation. I'll show you how to test for that. I'll show you how to fix that. The question is, do you want to, this year, make it a year of healing for yourself by becoming your own doctor and fixing this yourself? You can do that. Text the word New Year to 704-906-2094. The ebook is yours. The masterclass is yours. The health and healing is yours. You can do that. Once again, 704-906-2094. Or if you're watching our live stream, all the information you need is below. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I look forward to a great 2023 as we take you step by step through tips and techniques to heal yourself. Hey, if you have a specific topic, maybe it's a specific condition. Dr. Ernst, how do I get rid of? Go ahead and send that over to us. The information's on the screen. Visit AskDrErnst.com. We're going to take this year as a way to teach you what you need, but we need to hear from you in order to know how to do that. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next week for the masterclass. Until then.